going on? Welcome on in to the 411 Podcast. It's Monday, the 10th. Yeah, it's happening already. We getting ready to bust through this month too. I want to say what's up to everybody out there who has been supporting, liking, commenting, sharing, doing whatever you can do to help support the 411 Podcast and reading between the lines. I just want to say thank you so much. Tonight, we have special guest Kay coming in from KB Designs Life. So I can't wait to reach out to her and find out exactly what we got going on with KB Designs Life. And again, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for checking in with me tonight. I appreciate you. If you're out there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Live, TikTok, Twitch, Dailymotion, wherever you are checking me out from, wherever you're watching a replay from, definitely go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, do whatever you need to do to support. And of course, I support you and I thank each and every one of you out there for checking in with me. All right, so I posted something a couple days ago, reminiscing about some of the music that I grew up on. I'm an 80s baby, so I took it back with groups like, not groups, but singers like Anita Baker, Vanessa Williams, of course, Michael Jackson, groups like Levert, groups like Guy, Inner City. The list goes on and on and on as far as the music that I grew up on and the artists that actually, inspire me to continue to do what I'm doing here today. And of course, my number one ultimate, Mary J. Blige. So I just went and took it back, and people have been reaching out saying, I dig the list. I understand. I know, some of these people, I was rocking with them too. So for those of you out there, if you check out the post or whatever, let me know if there's a group or a song or an era of music that basically helped you, because I'm basically letting you know that music saved my life. So speaking of music that saved my life and songs that I grew up on, when I can think of, I'm thinking back when I was 8 years old with this song here. And this is why, one of the reasons why I love the Queen of Hip Hop Soul so much, because she's able to sample music from when I was young. So, when I was, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when I grow up to, be a teenager, 13, 14, 15, 16, and beyond, Mary J. Blige takes it back and she samples some of these songs and, makes me reminisce about my childhood. So this song right here, song of the day, Goodbye Love by Guy, 1988. 8 years old when this came out. This is before I knew who Mary J. Blige was, before I knew who any of, the popular people that I support these days, before I knew any of the hip hop, soul, any of that type of stuff. It was just basically groups like Guy, groups like Levert. And this specific song here, Goodbye Love, was one of my favorite ones off of this album. All of the songs I like, Groove Me, Spend the Night, that was a top one of my top ones. Round and Round, all of those joints. That whole album, you can play it from top to bottom. At least I did. 8 years old, didn't know what I was doing. But I fell in love with Goodbye Love out of all of them. One of my favorite ones. Used to wear it out all the time. Fast forward 1994, the Queen of Hip Hop Soul samples Goodbye Love on Don't Go. So how crazy it was when I heard it for the first time, it took me back to when I was a kid, and that's one of the reasons why, like, all right, we got it. You know how to sample, you know how to play with the music. But song of the day, I just wanted to reminisce a little bit. Goodbye Love by Guy, one of the first groups. I didn't even speak about that. One of the first groups that I actually started to follow. This is way before New Edition for me. Now, I'm just talking about for me. New Edition has been around and people were following them. When I say the first group that I followed was Guy, that was it. This was before Boys to Men, before Shy, So many different groups before Mint Condition. Before Guy was my group back then. Before all of that, song of the day. Goodbye Love, Guy, 1988. For those of you out there, if music saved your life and it actually put you in a better place and took you somewhere and continues to take you someplace, drop it in the comments and let me know. DM me, let me know what album, uh, what artist take you there. We here, 411 Podcast. What's going on? If you are out there anywhere, please drop it in the comments and let me know what's going on, what brings you here, where you are calling from tonight. So now I need to actually, I'm going to get into the people who support. But before I do that, I need to go reach on over here and get this little package that I received from Mr. Jonathan Martin Ives. So Jonathan is coming on a 411 Podcast Thursday night. Now, we do wine on Wednesday. We have Dr. Stephen Bond coming this week. But Thursday, we're going to sample a little bit of wine too, because my friend Jonathan Martin Ives sent me a package. So he told me that he was sending me some wine. So we're going to open it up and we're going to see exactly what he sent us here. Let me make sure here. Jonathan Martin Ives has been on a couple times. Him and his wife, I appreciate both of them. Linda and Jonathan, thank you all so much for supporting. Through Jonathan, I was able to meet Carol Cordera, who actually recreated a Mary J. Blige, poster, picture, whatever you want to call it. She recreated something for me. And during that process, Mary J. Blige's team actually got a hold of it and reached out to Carol Cordera. And, it was part of the Strength of the Woman Festival that she has in, Atlanta, Georgia. So crazy how that happens. But shout out to Jonathan Martin Ives and Linda, Carol Cordera, all of them. They've definitely been supporting, and they have been on the 411 Podcast. So Jonathan's coming back this Thursday. So let's take a look here and see. Enjoy the wine. To learn Happy Halloween from Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. We're going to see what kind of wine he has gotten us here. Let me get this package right. Make sure I don't break nothing or drop nothing. Okay. Of course, you got to know Jonathan. You got to know the type of person that he is. He would send me this type of wine. So the Walking Dead wine, Cabernet Sauvignon. That's so funny because I was thinking of reading between the wines this week. I was like, probably should do a Cabernet. But now I don't have to because we have it here. So we'll think of a different type of wine to drink this Wednesday. But yeah. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it. And we will be sampling this Thursday when he comes on the 411 Podcast. I'm going to find out what the reasoning was for the Walking Dead wine. It says it's one of his favorite wines. So let's get into it. I want to give a very special thank you to Agnes K for coming on. She came on the 411 Podcast and we had a great conversation. I mean, a real good conversation. Just basically talking about life and relationships and all types of stuff. We talked about her book and we just went on and we went on and we went on and we went on. So please go ahead and watch that replay. I would appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're checking us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Do whatever you need to do. I would appreciate that. And then we head on over to Mr. Alex Coquito. He has a show called Midnight Vibes. And we did it again this past Saturday. We talked about Andrew Tate. So if you want to go ahead and watch that replay, show some support to my friend Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. Henry Benson from Facebook, thank you for supporting. Maria Kornacki, she was on last week and continues to support. And I want to say thank you so much for continuously showing up. I appreciate you. Complex Angel from Philly, My Survivor Voice podcast. Jason T. Davis, all the way from California. Sean T. Refuge, my friend. She has 26 journals. Please go ahead and support. Farrell Higginbotham, all the way from Trenton, New Jersey, my hometown. Sev Raps. Sev Raps is so dope that people steal the raps. Sev Raps shipped me something and somebody stole it. That's how dope her head wraps are. Please go ahead and check out Sev Raps. Gina Smith, get your adulting on. Check out Miss Gina Smith, all the way from Camden, New Jersey. So let's go ahead and rewind this thing a little bit. What are some ways that you bring joy into your world? I believe it's Seduction Spot out there. Seduction Spot said, some ways that she brings joy into her world is through laughter. And I could not agree more. Like, laughing and having fun is something that I like to do, especially when I'm in my own element and I'm around the type of people and the group that suits me. That's one way that I like to laugh. Also, by myself sometimes. I love stand-up comedians. I think that that's one of my go-to things. I will binge watch some stand-up comics on Netflix or whatever. Good food. I think for me, eating food that makes me feel good. Wine, of course. The wine, if I'm not going to say my favorite, but yeah, drinking some good wine. Just doing things that work for me, things that I finally want to do. Sometimes bringing joy into my world is just having some peace and quiet by myself. And I do a lot of that nowadays, just being by myself after being turned on around so many different people, needing to be up here all the time. And yeah, so those are some things that I do to bring joy into my world. What are some things that you do to bring joy into your world? And now here's the thing. Once you actually start to find this joy, and once you actually get this joy, you got to keep it. It's hard to keep it. It's so hard to keep it. But you got to keep it. It's so hard to keep it. But we really got to keep it. And then there's energy thieves and stalkers out there. And that's why we got to keep it and we got to protect it, because there are energy thieves and stalkers out there. And some people call them energy vampires, energy agents, whatever you want to call it. They're out there. And this is one thing that I have to continue to work on, being able to handle what's going on. How are you? Let me know where you're calling from. Being able to know how to navigate and handle the thieves and the stalkers that are out there that just sit and wait and try to steal your energy. Easier said than done. Sometimes it's that person that is so close to you and you had no idea they were secretly coming after you, draining your energy. How many times you got into a relationship or situation and realized, damn, every time I'm with you, I feel drained. I feel tired. I feel like I just want to go lay down and take a nap because you suck the life out of me. Anybody out there could admit that they used to be an energy vampire or energy thief or a stalker until they got it together? I'm sure people thought that around me. I mean, because I wasn't happy until I made you miserable like me. So, of course, it's that karmic law. What goes around comes around, and trust and believe. Oof, I get it and I understand it today. And I'm like, damn, did I used to do stuff like that? Is that what it was really like? Craziness. And man, do they dress up so nice. Do they smell so nice? You wouldn't even think that it's who you think it is. How do you navigate and deal and get around these energy thieves and stalkers? They could be anywhere. Here's the crazy thing about it. I listen to so many people and they say be very careful because the energy thieves and stalkers, sometimes they could be in your own home. Anybody ever been in that situation? Mm. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I ain't gonna say a word. I'm gonna just go ahead and pull up my special guest, Miss K, and see what she got going on. Check her out on Instagram on Flourish Zone.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on?
Hello. Good evening. So much. How are you?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the 411. I appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Yes, thank you. It's an honor to be invited. I'm very excited.
Yes, yeah, we're going to do this thing tonight. So, let's start on off by asking you, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from upstate New York right now, Rochester to be exact.
Some reason I was thinking that you were from Philly. But okay, so Rochester, New York. Have you lived there all your life?
Yes and no. I've lived here majority all my life. I had a brief few moments in Florida. I moved to Florida not too long ago for a job. But for the majority of my life, yeah, Rochester.
Okay, so now when you were in Florida, did you like it? Did you love it?
Very, yeah, well, yes and no. Not gonna lie. I've always, frequently visited Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But to live there, I went there for a job. So, where they placed me, I didn't like it.
Oh,
it wasn't my part of Florida where I wanted to be. The job was definitely great, but the Florida experience is always Florida. The weather is beautiful. Upstate New York, we have a different weather, every few hours. So, being in, the constant sunshine all day, that was a beauty. But you gotta love Florida,
Yeah. What part did they have you at?
I was in Pensacola.
Oh, okay, okay. Now let's get back.
Yeah, so it's close to Mobile.
Close to where? Close to where?
So it's close to Mobile, and it's actually on the Gulf. The coast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So now let's get into this upstate New York thing. So your weather is different. It's gonna start to get real different soon, if it hasn't already. Um, you like it there?
You know what? It's so crazy. I think this year I come to realization this is my full year being back from Florida, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I do like New York State versus, I've been to West Coast, Vegas, different places. And I like New York because even though it's like different weather, we get to see a lot of things. Like, I don't like the snow, even though every year I feel like it's something new to me. I still don't like it. But we get all of the seasons. We get a nice fall. We get a summer. But
I will tell you that I'd had to go upstate New York for a business meeting a couple years ago, and it was around this time. And man, as I was driving, what a beautiful scene there to see all of the leaves turn colors and all that. That's one thing that I say, okay, I feel you on that one. But everything after that, you could forget it. I want nothing to do with it.
No. And that's why it's like I would live here because this is where I'm everything is here for me. I know how to navigate, but I would I'm also a traveler. I like to travel, so in the future I see myself here with another home elsewhere, but still long term traveling. But New York State is home.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am from New Jersey, and New Jersey is home for me, and I see myself anywhere but in New Jersey. Put it that way.
Okay.
I see myself anywhere,
Okay.
especially this time of year. Can't stand it.
Oh yeah. You're really, you guys are really close to the water, right? So it has to get really cold over there.
I think you have it worse than we do.
Oh yeah, we have tons of bodies of water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. It will be like normal here, and I'll talk to my friend who lives upstate New York or somewhere over there, Maine, something like that, and it'll be all this crazy snow, and I'm like, we don't have
Yeah.
nothing
See,
here.
it's weird. We've actually had, I think a few years ago, we didn't have any snow until actually the day of Christmas. We almost didn't have a white Christmas. I mean, it was cold, it gets cold. But as far as snow, sometimes it'll come in March like crazy, or sometimes we'll be waiting until after Thanksgiving. So it's like you can never predict it. It's crazy every winter. But when it comes, it comes in inches.
No, I want no parts. I'm glad that I have you though. I got a new friend that I can connect with and ask how it's going up there because you can have all that.
Yes, yes. If I don't run away and go somewhere warm,
Yeah, I hear you.
Till it melts.
So you are a business owner. You have a
Yes.
business, KB Designs Life. So I like the name, Designs Life. So you're designing life.
Yeah. So pretty much like. Oh, I don't know. Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah, like when I'm looking at it and I'm like, you design life. So I want to hear a lot about that.
Yeah. So how I came up with that is, I guess honestly, life in general, like just sitting there thinking about my life and the things that I've been through, and the things that other people's been through, and it was actually during the pandemic, and I was realizing, even though I've been through a lot, I feel like, I'm like, I won't say, I would say I'm very, very grateful for, the things that I have, I won't say more than others, but others are, they may have it worse than me. And sometimes, you don't realize that. Some people, you get caught up in, trying to be extra successful and all, just all the things that don't matter and just be, simply happy in life. So it's like, just going back to my life, it's like, yo, I design a lot. I'm an artist, like I draw. Like even from, elementary school, I remember having something hung up in my wall because, I was in a art contest. One of my creations was, set in the city, the city elementary things, and it's like going through all of my old art, it's like every stage of my life, I was doing something different, but it pertained to art. But what really struck me to see like KB Designs Life is where it was like, I don't know if it's deep, I'm getting emotional, I never explained it, but it's like, I kind of like, in 2020, we're going through a pandemic. Before actually the pandemic, in February of 2020, my father passed. So it was like I was dealing with that, and then the pandemic hit me. So it's like everybody's losing everybody, So it's like that hit hard, and it's like, as a teenager, a lot of people, they drink their pain away, but I was stuck on digital creating. So it's like I don't want to waste my life drinking, I'm a designer. So it was like, so who am I? Who am I? I'm KB. So I'm gonna design my life, So it's like that's how I came up with it, because it's like you just have to, feel. You gotta like I learned to stop the world, because it's like I missed out on so much. Like, I worked at a place for 7 years, and I was so stuck on, I gotta go to work. I gotta do this. I gotta go to work.
Sure.
So I was missing out on my family time.
I hear you.
Missing out on it. You missed out on that. You gotta slow yourself down. So it's like you just feel it, and that's how I came up with it. So it's however, whatever art I'm feeling at that time is what I do. Like I draw, I paint, I make resin. I'm also into I'm also into poetry. I'm in the midst of creating a few books.
Mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
haven't been, mentioned yet, but it's like I'm creating as much as I can, and that brings peace, and that, I notice that brings people together, and it's a story. Art is a story for, and I know that it is for everybody else, so that's how I came up with KB Designs Life. I just like, some people ask you, well, what's going on? It's life. So it's like, what are you going to do about it? What's your next step? How are you going to make it different, And I had to pull myself out of it.
Yeah, I think that is very powerful. I had to sit here and look at it. KB Designs Life. KB Designs Life. So I'm like, I need to hear what this story is about. And just listening to you speak about it, the passion that you have behind it, lets me know that it's real. That's one thing that nobody will ever be able to take away from you is the message that you have to give behind it. And you said, hopefully I got this right, that art brings people together. Um, KB Designs Life brings people together. I'm going to take it a step further and say it brings you together because just like you said during the pandemic and a whole bunch of things were going on, everybody was losing their mind, working themselves into the ground, which I could be raising my hand. I was one of those. And then,
Yes.
then all of a sudden we had an opportunity to sit back and think like, damn, how many people have I missed? How many funerals have I missed? How many get-togethers and gatherings have I missed because I was too busy, chasing the dollar and trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to have everything that everybody else had instead of worrying about having the things that Laren needs to have. So, and that's a whole nother story because people still stuck on that mind frame today after all that's been happening. Like you said, so many people lost so many people and they still can't get it together. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think that KB Design Life brings you together and anybody out there, whether you have your own business, thinking about having your own business, just in general, somebody who decided to get it together. Once you decide to get it together, you design your life. You create your own world. I say I live in my own world. I could give a shit what the person next to me thinks. I'm doing what works for Laren, and that's just it. And once you learn how to do things that work for you, what a beautiful situation that is when you know you can walk in truth and you don't care about what anybody has to say and you just doing you. And
Yes.
when you do you 100% the way only you know how to do it, that's when things are going to come back full circle. And you're going to get everything that you need and all of the desires and everything you want in life. And I'm still on this journey. I'm still working on it. I haven't cracked the code yet, but I come out here as many times as I can doing a 411 podcast because this is my way of giving back and designing my life and doing what works for me. So I give you so much credit for that. And I can hear it.
Yes.
I can hear the passion.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wow. So you make different things. So give us some of the products that you make and what you do.
So as far as art in general, like, I draw. For example, one of my bigger pieces, I took apart what do you call? It was like a bookshelf, and I freehand drew on that, painted that. But most currently, I've been working with resin. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I make ashtrays. I make keychains with it. I make pens, coasters, all types of different things, like even grinders. I'm actually looking at my box right now, like all types of stuff. Jewelry holders.
I'm sorry.
I can actually.
Let me back this thing up a bit. Did I hear what I thought I heard? Did you say what I thought
Which
you said?
part?
You said you make what?
What was it?
Go back a couple products. What did you say you made?
binders.
I
Was
just
that
wanted
the
to
one?
make I just wanted to make sure I heard you properly. Okay, I got you.
Yes, yeah. So everything, yeah, and it's more to come. Definitely. There's so many more things I want to do with resin. But other than that, like I mentioned, I also do digital art. So I do art on my phone. I do coloring contests. I actually did one a few weeks ago. I do them online, offline. I haven't done any writing contests. I know I've done a few poetry slams in the past. Haven't done any of that recently. But as far as my art, I don't know. I feel like I have no. I won't say, yeah. There's no actual lane that I do. I'm a freelance is what I do.
Okay.
I take commissions, all that, but I also have things that when I make things, it's like, okay, I have this, but KB Design Life is just based on art itself.
That's a good
No
way.
actual, no
Yeah.
particular, I don't discriminate. Any art is art,
Yeah,
I might
you
want to go tag it next
right.
week and spray paint it. I have a spray paint, So it never stops.
Yeah, that way you're not putting yourself in a box. I got it. That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
So you said digital art. So I'm just so shocked at the amount of money that some of these pieces go for. Like, art is no joke, period. So do
Yeah.
you what are some of your price ranges for your digital art that you sell?
So I actually have never sold digital art at all.
Okay.
So
Because I know that
I am in the beginning stages of digital art, but I have researched and I've definitely seen they go for a lot, and especially with I think it's been about a year now. NFTs have been around, so
exactly, and I can't believe that people pay what they pay for that. I'm like, what? I
yeah,
just I just
yeah.
can't. Mm, it's insane.
It's unreal, but at the same time, it's like, wow.
No,
I
now
feel like these are like secrets that's been around forever, but they're just coming out. But it's like maybe they're not. Who knows? But it's like,
no
how do I into it on my own way?
Yeah, no disrespect to the artist because I don't know what it takes, and trust and believe that I could not do it. Period. I can't even draw a stick figure the right way. Just keep it real. But the NFTs, I don't think that they're all of that I would be spending that type of money for it. I'm just
And
saying.
that's why I'm like, is it some type of secret thing? Because some of them are very basic. No, I get you. It's like,
I'm
that's
like,
why I'm like,
mm-mm.
what? Are you kidding me?
Thousands of dollars for that. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, but no. But I don't know. But again, no disrespect to the people that do it because I can't do it. I'm just telling you, I know I can't. So shout out to you for doing it and get your money the way you know how to get it. But apparently, that's going to explode even more.
Most definitely it is.
hmm So, how can we purchase some items? Where do we follow you at? Where do we go?
I honestly haven't purchased any. I'm not invested into it
hmm
because I understand it yet. Like I just like the images of them, it's art is interesting, but as far as the money concept, I don't understand it. But I know a lot of people use like CoinSwap or YouTube. I don't want to throw out anything, I don't want to be liable for anything, but a lot of people, they use research on YouTube, or Twitter. They have, if you just search like NFT, there's a lot of support groups, or even like, oh crap, what is it called? Like Discord.
Oh yeah. Now,
Yeah, so.
no, now where can we support you? Where can we purchase your items from? Where can we follow you?
Directly You can definitely find me on Instagram at KB Designs Life. I do have a link tree. I have to put that back up. My website just it's in the process of going back up. It's down right now, but anytime directly on my KB Designs Life page. I do have an email address as well. Definitely, that's open. I actually have that's completely forgot to mention. I take photos too. I'm also I love to take photos. I'm a photographer. I have a photographer page too, so that's all listed in my bio as well.
Okay. You got a lot going on. Now, is this your sole KB Designs Life? Um, is this your side hustle or is this your sole thing?
I would say both. So I do have a regular 9 to 5. And then this is what I do to balance that, I guess, not to get caught up in just working my way through life and being on autopilot. So in the future, I do see this
Good answer.
being
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. I like it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I know. I feel it. Your story. I can resonate with your story. Trust and believe. I've been there before. Mm.
Yeah.
So, let us know once again. I don't know if I cut you off there. If you can go ahead and let us know your handle names. I know you're on Instagram. Not sure if you're on Facebook or TikTok or anything like that, but go ahead and give us that information again.
Yes, that'll be it's KB Designs Life on all platforms. So that's K.B_designs_life for Instagram. I'm also on Facebook with a Facebook page, KB Designs Life as well. TikTok, the same thing, KB Designs Life. Follow me, inbox me. Like I said, I do everything.
Now, do you do some?
And if I can't do it, trust me, I know someone that can.
Now, do you do interesting TikTok videos? Are you all into that?
No, not really. I have a few up. I do my stuff up. I haven't put them up in a while. I don't know. I want to say like I'm a new age rebel. It's like how far can I get without succumbing to all of the other stuff that's going on?
I got you.
And it's like sometimes I give in, sometimes I don't. But
mm-hmm.
I love it all. I support every way and every new thing. I'm not one to hate it. I still love it, but
Wow. Y'all go ahead and support Kay from KB Designs Life. What a powerful story. Thank you so much for coming on and opening up and sharing your story and just keeping it real. I mean, this is my first time meeting you, but I can tell that, you got something to you. You definitely do.
Yes, thank you. And again, like I said, I definitely appreciate you for even taking the time to reach out. Like I'm definitely honored, and I love what you're doing too. Like that's great. You give people a chance. Some people feel like they'll never get that, and I just feel like just keep doing what you're doing. You feel like nobody watching, just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to tell you that you do not sound like you're from New York either.
Really? Where do I sound like I'm
from? Not from New York, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
You not to knock anybody from New York, because I love New York, but you sound just so polished.
Wow.
Sometimes people from New York they could be a little rough.
I definitely have that in me, but my personal side, I'm just chill. Like this is me.
Yeah.
But yes, New York is definitely rough. We can definitely be rough.
Now, is that the only part that you grew up in, or you lived in different parts of New York?
No, this is the only part I grew up in, but I do have majority of my paternal side lives in Virginia, so I frequented there pretty much almost every summer as a child to Virginia. So.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So now, Miss Bethany, thank you so much for joining out there from California. So We are getting ready to get into burning questions. So, burning questions is a segment of the show. Basically, flip it and put my guest in a hot seat. Tonight, the burning questions is: what do you need, want, and expect from a relationship? Are you ready? Or you have to think of
I'm
that?
ready.
What do you need, want, and expect from a relationship?
So what, like, to start basic, like what I need, like, you need a person to need to need you, like necessarily not necessarily need you, to live, but want to be around you, want to do things with you, want to learn you. So I would need someone that's interested in me, and not just the physical, not just to
Mm,
show off, but to actually get to know.
wow. Now let me see if I can answer this properly. Because um, the relationships have been very interesting for me. But I would say what do I need? What I need is for somebody to accept me for who I am, the new person that I am. Because I will tell you that I started to think back to some of my relationships, and I was like, this was not right. It was not real because I wasn't even accepting me. So if I didn't accept and I didn't love me, how could somebody else do it? So now that I actually have this newfound awakening, I need, and it is a need, for you to be able to love me for who I am. That's it. um,
Yeah.
what I would want, you don't always get what you want, but what I would want is for somebody to meet me halfway. Like, that's a tricky part too, because it always starts off like that in the beginning and then somehow it gets all twisted. I want you to meet me halfway. And sometimes they can't. You might be a little bit more powerful, you might have a little bit more influence than what the other person might have, but what they can do, you can't do, and vice versa. But that's what I would want, a 50-50 type thing. Doesn't always work out that way. What do I expect? I would expect, I would say the same way that we entered this thing is the same way that we going to exit it. I would expect that we could treat each other with respect the same way we entered in it, the same way we going to exit out of it. I want to be friends. Like, I don't want to be, you know, an enemy if it doesn't work out. And that's it. That's my version of it. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely agree. Yes. Um, I definitely agree. I like that, and I like what you said in the beginning about you need, they need to accept you for you. I can definitely relate to that, and you don't realize that until, sometimes you're out of a relationship completely or, in a different relationship, and it's like, I wasn't the person that I am today. I wasn't as happy. Maybe I didn't realize it because I was, in another person's world, not being who
Mm.
I needed to be.
Why do our stories sound so similar? Why?
I don't know. There's no mistake, no mistaken coincidences. I don't know.
I have
But it's
always.
and another thing
Mm-hmm.
and another thing I forgot to say is I guess this one is in the middle between need and want. But I would say more of maybe a need now going forward, but now that I'm married, but want in a relationship, you should want someone, to be accountable, because I feel like, not everybody learns to be accountable. Some people grow up not having to be accountable for anything. You know, they never had
Exactly.
to do anything for themselves.
Oh,
So it's a want. You know, you have to want to be accountable. You have to want to change yourself. If I address you, or you know, if we talk about something, and this goes for all relationships, honestly, not even just intimacy. You know, they have to be accountable. You know, but you know, everybody has, you know, their own life. Everybody goes through something. So yes, what you said is meet me halfway. I know I'm going through something as a human. You're going through something as a human. But still, you know, don't disrespect me. I won't disrespect you. So let's be accountable and, you know, make it work.
yeah, that is so true. Hold each other accountable. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's going through their own revolution at this time. That's the thing. That's why I said I would want, but it doesn't always work that way because that other person might not be on that same page. But they said that that exists out there in the world somewhere where you could actually be vibing on the same level as somebody else. And it makes
Oh,
sense.
it happens.
They say half of the
Yes.
people that are together and that are married shouldn't even be married because they're really technically not on the same level. And you got people living in other people's worlds instead of living in their own world, which
Mm-hmm.
I could attest to that. I used to be in somebody else's world, multiple times. It was like every single relationship I was living in somebody else's world instead of living in my own. So, but I'm waiting for that opportunity where vibing on the same level. I'm just saying.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well,
And it'll definitely happen. It will. It happens, how can I say, like rare, or, you know, when you're not expecting it or not looking. I know it sounds like corny or fairy tale, but, you know, you got to just take a step back and, you
oh,
know, just live your life and be who you are, you know?
trust and believe I know because when I tried to this time around, I told you after the pandemic and all that stuff, um, when everything shut down, my world got turned upside down. So I just did what Laren always do, and that's just basically try to run to the next situation. But this time, God was like, "No, sir, we're not doing this." And I was like, "You sure? Because I'm used to doing this." And he was like, "Nah, we're not doing this." And I was like, "Are you sure?" So then I thought that I was going to do things my way, and trust and believe that every single situation that I came across, it was like, "Nope, I told you that we're not doing this, right?"
Yes.
So
Oh
um,
my gosh, yes.
I got it, and I was just like laughing yesterday when I was just thinking about the different dates and the little things that I've been on, the past year. It's been a trip. And I'm like, I remember that one. I shouldn't have done that one. I remember I kept doing things that I want to do. What about that one? So, yeah, I get it. So, finally, after a bunch of horrible mistakes, I'm doing exactly that. Just sitting back, chilling, minding my business. I ain't searching. I ain't looking. I could care less what happens. I know it's going to happen whenever it happens. It's just don't have to be on my time.
Yep.
And I'm just chilling right
Yes.
now. All
Yep.
right. Well, I want to thank you so much for hanging out there with me tonight. Um, you can go ahead and leave us with one last thing and drop your social media handles again if you like.
Yes. Again, definitely Kate.B_designs_life at Instagram, Facebook page, and TikTok. It's been a pleasure. I definitely am grateful to be here, to even you know, have been seen, have been noticed. I wish you the best of luck too. You say you're in Jersey. I've definitely been to Jersey. We'll have to meet up one time. Maybe do a in-person collab. I'm
Yeah.
definitely with it. Not in the winter because it's too cold.
I'm telling you. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Please let's keep in touch because I definitely like your vibe and your energy is on point. What zodiac sign are you, by the way, before you leave?
Yes, yes, I'm a Pisces.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna.
I don't know what that means. I'm not a big zodiac person, so I don't know. But
I don't know either, but I know. Anyway, we're just gonna leave it at that. But I got you.
ah, all right.
uh,
I definitely have heard the Pisces are they're definitely a Pisces. That's all.
all right. Take care. Thank you so much, and I will see you when I see you.
All right. Thank you. You
Okay.
take care as well.
All right. See you.
Alrighty.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Elevate with Vern. I don't know if you're still out there, but let us know where you are calling from. I appreciate the new people that I haven't seen. I see Kenny's Meals out there, gave me some fire. I appreciate that. Of course, Miss Bethany was out there tonight. And special guest Kay tonight from KB Designs Life. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Definitely could not do this show without you. And of course, if you're out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Instagram family, I saw y'all popping in and out tonight. Twitter, let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully everything is running smooth over there. YouTube, you can check out The Experience at Laren Gaines. TikTok and Daily Motion, you can get small clips of the show. And hopefully everything is up and running on D Live as well. Now, if you would like to support the 411 Podcast and Reading Between the Wines, please go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. And you can go inside of Volume 1.5 Deliberation, Remix Journal, a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. Please go ahead and support my new project. You can purchase my book for $7.99. And of course, I could not do this without my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give y'all the 411 Podcast one more time in life. I also want to say a very special thank you to Mr. Jonathan Martin Ives. I appreciate the wine. We are going to open this up on Thursday night when he comes on. He's all the way from Colorado. And the stuff that comes out of his mouth is just absolutely crazy. And if you come back on Thursday, you'll be able to find out. And of course, with us sipping this a little bit, our conversation can get a little crazy. We have Reading Between the Wines this week. Dr. Stephen Bond coming back for the second time. This is his second book, and he's coming back the second time. So he was on last year discussing his first book. So now we're going to come back the second time around, and he just released a new book, Dr. Stephen Bond. And it's going to be educational. He's always speaking the truth. He's very professional, and we're going to get some good conversation. And on that note, I will see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the 411 Podcast. We made it. It's been interesting. It's been a journey. We are still making it each and every day. And of course, I could not do it without all of y'all out there. I appreciate you. Anything that you've done and continue to do for me and the 411 and Read Between the Wines, truly a blessing. And on that note, I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.